Hey guys, what's going on? I'm about to break down how I made $12,721 trading the Nasdaq this week. We won every single day, and I live streamed it for my inner circle members, which you could find in the description if you're interested in not only learning how to trade, but watching it play out in real time and everything else you need to know about the markets. So let's just get into it right here. First things first, on Monday, we didn't take a trade. If you notice, we're on Tuesday right now. But why are we on Tuesday? Well, that's because we didn't have any news on Monday. Okay, we didn't have news on Monday nor Tuesday. However, no news Tuesdays don't impact my trading as much as no news Mondays, so decided to take a trade. Following, we had PPI on Wednesday, CPI on Thursday, and prelim consumer sentiment at 10 o'clock on Friday. So let's get into Tuesday's trade. So first things first, we had an internal SMT formed after price took out Asia lows on ES but not NQ. After that, we had extremely clean price action on ES. Okay. After this like insane chop fest, but on NQ it was just a mess, bro. Look at this 3 minute, look at this 5 minute. But on ES it was holding up. It was holding up pretty all right. So we opened bullish, took some of these highs up here, came back down, and formed an IFVG right here on ES, I believe. Yes, on ES, and I believe I was on a 3 minute or something like that. I don't really remember. I'm kind of really trying to go off memory here. But like I said, I do the shit live and it's just a lot easier. But basically, I took my entry off of this displacement candle to the upside after we had formed that large external SMT, which, by the way, this now extends to like here or some shit. It's crazy. Targeted these equal highs up here, had my trade taken at a 1-to-1, and price eventually dumped. Okay. So that was the first trade for Tuesday. Let's move on to Wednesday. All right. Let's just fast forward here a little bit. Can we do hourly, please? Yeah. I don't know why I didn't click hourly. I have some stuff in the chart that you can kind of see already. And still Tuesday. Am I tripping? And here we go. All right. Perfect. On this day, I did believe I took shorts because we had on Wednesday, we had PPI news that had come out, right? We had PPI come out. Let me just pull up ES as well, so not confuse you guys. And we were on all time highs on ES, so I had some standard deviation levels marked down and stuff like that. But we had this gap inversed, and I did want to see data lows as our next draw on liquidity. And on this day, a lot of people were confused. Okay, some people tried to long until data highs, thinking that was an extra on liquidity. But yo, take a look at these markets. Okay, like tell me right now that we're not opening bearish for New York. We bull the entire session during New York, Asia, London, and PPI was bullish. Are you really telling me that we're going to keep on going bullish and we're not going to come back down to fill these imbalances? Like you have to be absolutely nuts to think that. Okay? Like price eventually has to come down to continue delivering up. Okay? That's like the biggest, literally the biggest discretionary play right there. All right? So this gap inverse up here, I took my entry on the closure right here, set my stops above these highs, and targeted data lows. Okay. Now, I had actually moved my stop. I made like a little bit of a gamer play here to these highs after price kind of, let's see. I had moved my stops to, I believe, yeah, it was this high right here of this candle. But then I noticed that ES, see how ES is ranging on a lower side compared to Nasdaq, right? Like if you take a look at this bullish displacement candle, see how it takes out this candle wick high, but on ES, it's just breaking out of this lower range. Okay, so I moved my stop loss up to these highs, and I would have gotten taken out otherwise, which also formed an internal SMT, which confirmed my bias even more. All right. I was holding on to this trade, and then when the wait, this is 9. Bro, am I tripping? Oh my god, I am tripping. It's 9, guys. Wait, I was like, yo, something is wrong here. Okay, I was like, something is extremely wrong. Let's fix that, dude. I'm such a goofball. Um 9:30. Dude, is this time correct? Am I tripping? Dude, I am tripping. Hold up. Hold up, guys. I'm kind of trolling you here. Bro, am I losing my mind? Okay, guys. Dude, I haven't slept in a minute, but I was thinking of last Friday's trade when we had news data come out and a draw was data lows. Okay, that's what I was thinking of. I'm sorry, guys. I actually took longs on this day. I just checked. My bad. My bad. Let's reiterate. Plus, like market wasn't even open, so I was like, what the fuck. Anyways, that's why I have this little two marked out right here. Yeah. So the reason I took longs right here is because I want a day open to be the bottom wake of today's price action. We had multiple SMTs formed, both internal and external. Okay, we had this external SMT formed, boom, 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 and then an internal formed right here. Okay, boom, boom, on both ES and NAS. Okay, right here, these guys. That I'm pretty sure actually it's not formed. Yeah, I'm lying to you. One of these are an SMT. Yeah, it is. I'm tripping, bro. I'm actually. This is why I draw shit out, guys. You can't skip the process. See, boom, boom, right there. Okay. Yeah. So we had both the internal and external SMT, and this is when I was looking for longs. I said I want day open to be our bottom tick, and I wanted longs to be probable. So I waited for this 1 minute. Was it a 3 minute as well? No, it's just a 1 minute. I waited for this 1 minute to inverse and took my entry on this candle wick on NQ, because the 1 minute inverse on ES right here, as you can see, there's just IFEG. Okay, we inversed it, closed above. Oops. And took my entry. I set my stops below these lows right here, I believe, and set my TP at this candle wick up here. There was a very specific reason that I did that specific candle wick as well. It was because it lined up with an order block right here, a higher time frame order block. This guy right here, right? And we have a large imbalance up here. I really didn't want to see us react bearish off of this 5 minute unfilled, so I just kind of, you know, I just kind of didn't want to take my chances with it. On top of that as well is that we would have taken, I was thinking we were going to take these highs on ES and just SMT to deliver like down, you know what I mean? So this was kind of a reversal move. So we did eventually come up, get stopped in profit, and also take these highs, and then I'm pretty sure we just dumped after that, like 90% sure. I don't even know, but no, we just chopped, literally just chopped. There were a lot of people today on this specific day that were targeting these highs up here, and I'm not. No, this is the day we were just chopping for so long. Yeah, I remember we were chopping for so long, and I just said I'm gonna take my 1-to-1 R, chill on it, and know that we already took this draw up here on ES, and I wasn't looking to torture myself, right? So just got my little 1-to-1 R trade, and then got away with the profits. Simple as that. So that was the trade for what's it called, for was just Wednesday. I also took another trade here as well. I took a short position because we had this internal SMT formed. I can't remember where, here, and it was one of these guys. It was one of these guys. I can't remember where exactly. But we did have an internal SMT formed somewhere. And I took a short position here at some point. I can't really remember when. No, it wasn't this late into the market. I'm pretty sure it was like sometime during like 5:30. Let's just take a look real quick. Nope, cannot remember. That's okay. It was a scalp anyway, just for a winning day. Let's move on to Thursday. Thursday is where it gets a little bit interesting. All right. Okay. I also have stuff marked out for Thursday, which is like super, super nice. Okay. Let's get into it. I don't have to like pre-mark everything. But basically we had London and Asia lows both taken with CPI news data, which by the way, we full ported evals in Discord and just passed the fuck down. So that was just an absolute W. And then the market opened up and I had a bunch of stuff marked down. It was super interesting for today. So basically what I said I wanted to see was a bottom tick at midnight open level, and I wanted to I wanted to long out of that until what? Until some shit. I can't remember until where, but I went to long until a certain place in time. Yeah, until these levels up here. Yeah, these levels I had marked out. All right. So market opened up, we dumped down, bottom tick midnight, like I said we would. We had the stream and the IFAG marked out. Okay. And this really wasn't enough discretion for me to actually hop in this trade, for the sole reason that we had a 5 minute unfilled right here. So what I actually did is I went over to the 1 minute time frame and I waited for a displacement candle off of this 1 minute fair value gap, right? So price just bulled up, whatever. I waited for it to come back down. It eventually did. Displacement hammer candle. I took my entry right there, semi stops below the confluence, and I targeted these highs up here. Okay. We also SMT at these lows, right? Which is exactly what I wanted. As you can see on ES, SMT came all the way down here on NQ. And then it took a little while, but went break even at these highs up here. And then um I had a what's it called? I had taken most of my profit off of here and just gotten break even. So this was the trade, because that was the original trade that I wanted. But I have a rule where I generally go break even at what's it called? At internal highs. I also had said one thing as well, that this, bearish demand zone, which was generated by what was it generated by? I'm trying to look here. By standard deviation levels. Yeah, by standard deviation levels that I had marked out. I said that I want us to have this kind of area as the high of day. Okay, so look how crazy this is, dude. How strong liquidity is. See how price reacts so violently off of that liquidity pool. Come down, fill an imbalance right here, and then keep delivering higher. It's literally how price action moves. Come up, take the next strong liquidity, super, super aggressive move, come back down, continue delivering higher. And then look what happens when we reach this standard deviation level that I had marked out on ES. We just shit the bed. It's just literally textbook rinse and repeat, guys. It's the easiest thing ever, and it's how you stay profitable in these markets. That being said, let's move on to Friday. So originally on Friday, I actually wasn't going to trade, because I was like, bro, we've won so many days this week and we've been so green that I'm just not going to trade on Friday, because even on Fridays, I low-key shit the bed, bro. A lot of people do. And it's just not that probable sometimes, especially with my model, which is just fine. You know what I mean? You can't really do anything about it, but just try to be careful in these markets and shit like that. So let's talk about Friday real quick. On Friday here, I believe my model actually did play out, and I had some of my students take it, but then I took some other trades after that I'll explain to you. So the market opened up bullish. We had not taken London lows, and if we were to have taken London lows, that's a whole nearly 100 points away, right? News hits, doesn't do much. It just literally continues delivering up. And I believe the trade was with an SMT as well. I have to find it really quick. Here we go. Here's the trade. Okay, cool. So we have this high time frame PD array, which is this order block right here. Okay, we have liquidity right here. We have this candle that took the liquidity. We have an SMT at these lows. Okay. Boom, boom. Just like that. And then on ES, boom, boom. Just like that. And then it's just like, it's so simple, guys. 1 minute IFEG. Okay. What happened to the next 1 minute closure? Yeah. So 1 minute closed bullish. You would have taken your entry right here. Set your stops down there. Target these relative equal highs, right? Actually, you probably would have targeted these all-time highs just because you'd want a positive RR, right? Or like option 2, you can wait for price to retrace lower. So if you were to set a limit order, say in the middle of this fair value gap right here, let's actually set it at 10 a.m. open, right? That's also a very smart move you could do. And that way you can either A, extend your stop all the way down here, or B, extend your TP to these relative equal highs. To each their own, whatever. It doesn't matter. We can come up, deliver, absolutely smash these profits up here. And yeah, I didn't personally take this trade, but my students did, because this is literally the exact variation of the model that we use. Okay, but I will show you the trades that I took after that, right? So that was today, right? I didn't originally take it because I was super busy this morning with this, and I was also commuting to the city. But I did take I took a short. I know I took a short position, and I also took, I believe, a long position. What long did I take? No, I didn't take a long position, did I? I don't remember what I took, but I do remember that I took a short position because I literally typed out to my Discord. It's insane. I'll show you guys really quick. Just give me a second here. So take a look right here. I was looking at the chart and I was thinking that, okay, we're definitely gonna come back up. Top tech 2-day open, form an SMT and equal highs, as well as tapping into an order block and a 5 minute order block, and then into an IFEG. So this is our 5 minute order block right here. Let's mark that out. Right. Actually wasn't a 5 minute. I think I lied. It's like a 3 minute. Yeah. Right here. This 3 minute order block. Okay. And we came up. Tap day open. Okay. Shat down. Caught the IFEG right there. So I took my entry super high up. Where was it? Let me just play out the entire thing. I fucking hate doing this shit, bro. Just play out the entire thing. Yeah, so this is when it was happening. Okay, so there's this order block up here on the 5 minute. Yeah, now I'm not tripping. Okay, cool. Um, what's it called? Right here. This was a long position I took. Okay, let me explain this trade. We had an internal SMT form. Um, sorry, external SMT. Boom, boom. Like it's all the way down here. Boom, boom. Call IFG, and it was just a winning day scalp. We had an IFG on ES, I believe. Yeah, right here on this candle closure. And I literally just longed until these relative equal highs, which also lined up. Sorry, relative equal highs. I want to talk about this drawn liquidity. This wick high, also known as low resistance liquidity, which also lined up with midnight open on ES. And that's when I took my profits. And it was a, pretty sick thing. I could have held until here, but then again, I was just going for a winning day scalp. But here's a short position that I was talking about. Can we actually talk about it? Yeah. Okay. Here it is. Can we get rid of New York launch? Thank you. Bro, here on ES2, please. So we're just doing our thing. Top 2-day open. Tap into here's the 5 minute order block I was talking about. I thought I'm losing my mind on these charts, bro. Like, guys, do not fucking day trade, bro. Like the charts will fucking ruin you. Here's liquidity right here. Boom. Order block. Mark that out. Just like that. High time frame PD arrays lined up. Okay. Fucking losing my mind out here. Okay. Came down, inversed a gap on the 30-second, I believe. And I took my entry somewhere up here. It was like, yeah, it was 5-0. And I set my stop right above these highs up here and targeted this draw down here. It's an easy, and look how we bottom tick it too. It's crazy. We literally bottom ticked it, form relative equal lows, and then just continue delivering higher. And that was just a winning day for me. And here it is in the Discord, right? I literally drew it out. I was like, I want price to come down, take these lows, and then as we tap daily open, right? I was like, oh, we're gonna tap 2-day open, blah blah blah, and then never fade me. Like, that's actually nuts. That is nuts, right? So yeah, that's basically the trade recap for the entire week. I hope it wasn't too confusing for you. I was kind of trying to really paint the picture of how I do this. It's a lot easier if you were to actually watch my live streams and stuff like that. That being said, I hope you learned something from watching this. I gotta go now. My friend just told me that we got folks coming over. We had a really good week this week, which is how I was able to get stuff like this, these materialistic assets. And honestly, all I can really say is I'm, lucky to be a day trader, dude. And this shit's mad fun, like reading price and like predicting where it's gonna go. And it's not like gambling where you don't really have like a strategy or incentive behind it or like real like data collected. Like this shit is mad fun, you know what I mean? And the easiest thing about it is that you only work like less than an hour per day. Like my trades take a couple minutes, but to execute them properly, I need to be looking at the markets for a fat minute, right? But there's no other job, not one in the entire world, where you can be working an hour and just like print money like this. Like let's say you were to like go into like e-commerce or something like that, and you would have to, continuously work all day towards that just to be able to sustain like, livable measures and stuff like that, right? Or like drop shipping or freaking like social media marketing or closing. Like, bro, closing deals is the worst. High ticket sales. You literally have to sit on the phone with people who don't want to talk to you for hours to try to convince them of something that they want, but they're just not fully sure of. Like, they got to put in all this work. I literally sit here and press buy and sell, bro. It's like the best thing ever. And you get to be really good at it too. And the nice thing about it is that you can't cheat it either. Like, you can't cheat day trading. Like, you literally cannot cheat, bro. If you cheat, you lose, right? So I like trading. It's fun. Like it's fun when you're profitable because you get to read the market and have your own edge, which is exactly what I teach people, right? Bro, I have like so many students that like literally I'm not even joking. Like, I'd say 70% of them don't even show up to the lives in the morning. Why? Because I pre-record them and I post them in a playlist for people to watch so they can learn from it, and they don't signal bot off of me. You have the choice to signal bot, but these specific people want to learn the skill for themselves and actually trade in the morning by themselves because they realize that if they signal bot me, then they're not using their own means of thinking. Right? Like I don't imagine you being on like a boat in Miami and having to text extra trades and be like, yo, bro, does this setup look good? Like, bruh, I want you to know that shit yourself. You know what I mean? So that's basically what I try to do for people, and I love doing it, bro. I definitely love doing it. That being said, join the inner circle. I love you a bitch. Just kidding. But like, we actually changed lives over here. It's not I'm like the small me and a very few other people, like the very small percentage in this niche that don't scam, like and give real value. You know what I mean? Because there are certain individuals that'll like live trade and just be so fucking ass at it and always take losses. And bro, for me specifically, I really enjoy explaining my trades. Like I explain everything, and I ask my entire chat if they have any questions, and if they have a question, I clear that up for them. And in return, I get messages on a daily basis from people saying like, "Yo, bro, you literally changed my life." Yo, bro, like let me read one off really quick from someone that messaged me just out of the blue. Like I get these every single day and I love it. He said, "Yo, extra, you're the GOAT. Funded 3 times now. Psychology's fixed. Max allocation on alpha futures soon." By the way, if you're buying an alpha futures account, code extra. But like, bro, these messages are the best, bro. Like I read that shit. I'm like, yeah, we're G's, you and I. Like I don't like to take full credit for what people do because they had to put in the work. I have students that join my mentorship or my inner circle and they put in zero work and they just get zero result. So you gotta put in the work. So I'm like, you and I are both G's. You know what I mean? We're both G's. So at the end of the day, if you want to be a G, description. I'll catch you guys next week. Take care. Have a great weekend. Goodbye.